We are mega blessed, big time blessed to have Kendra Brassfield on this call today. It is very, very kind and generous of her to take her time to encourage, instruct, help us, and to share her expertise with us today. Kendra is the CEO of a 61-year-old mega successful company that operates in 50 plus countries of the world. While many huge vitamin suppliers like Target, Walmart, Vitamin Shop, GNC, etc., have been busted in recent years for contaminants or drugs in their products, NeoLife, which is owned by the Brassfield family, after 61 years in business, still has a spotless record for which we are very, very grateful. Kendra is well loved and accepted by company leaders worldwide. She is fun, inspirational, respected, and we are very blessed to have her with us today. Please join me in welcoming a wonderful leader, an amazing, highly accomplished, gracious leader, our CEO and friend, Miss Kendra Brassfield.
Well, thank you, Bob, for that very nice introduction. It is so great to be on this call with you all. Good morning. And I just love what Nicole just shared. I mean, wow, what words of wisdom, just the power of mindset. I love that. So true. And I see a lot of familiar faces on this line. Good to see you all. Wow, well, I've been a part of the NeoLife family now for 29 years. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That's not true. I keep forgetting how old I am. 30 years. And working for the company for 9. And there's really never been a more exciting time to be doing what we're doing. And there's never been a greater need for what we have to offer. I love when my dad tells me about how 60 years ago, he used to tell people that someday supplements are going to be as common as salt and pepper on the dinner table. And that was 60 years ago. And today, there's no question that that is absolutely becoming a reality. I think, we're quickly progressing into a world where we're no longer asking the question, do you take supplements? But instead, we're saying, like, what are you taking? I think the latest statistics are showing that 75% of US adults are using dietary supplements. And that's from the CRN. It's an all-time high. But what I think is really crazy is that even with those incredibly high numbers, we're still seeing chronic disease just skyrocket. And it really doesn't make any sense because they should be getting healthier. People should be getting healthier. And I think that the answer to why that's happening is pretty simple. They're taking the wrong supplements. And it's our job as both promoters and club members to show people that there's such a better way to get results to achieve those health goals. We were just at World Team Conference in Hawaii on the Big Island, and it was so much fun. But I was thinking about what we could equate our products to versus what else is out there. And do you guys remember back in the 90s what internet used to be like? It was dial-up internet. And so you'd go online, press the button, and it was and it took forever, right, to get on there. And then maybe you wanted to go do something download a song. And so you could press the button, go have dinner, and then come back, and it still wasn't ready. And I think right now, the majority of people are taking the equivalent of dial-up internet when it comes to their vitamins. They're just not getting results because they're not using the most effective products. And now we talk about things like chronic disease, like heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and those are terrible things. But I have to say, I just turned 30 years old, and when I'm talking to my friends and people my age about health, chronic disease isn't usually something that's on their minds right now, not yet. But they do care about a lot of other things that our products can help with. So I think our products are something that attracts everybody because they're interested in things like energy, weight loss. And right now, I don't know if you guys have noticed, also, but I think there's this crazy epidemic happening with depression.
Yes.
And like, there are just so many young people who look healthy and strong and successful on the outside, but on the inside, they're hurting. And I think this is top of mind for me because last month I just had a friend tell me that he was thinking about killing himself. And like, I couldn't believe it. He was, he's young, he's educated, smart, attractive, eats healthy. And I bring up the story because I recommended our products to him, and he actually just texted saying how much better he's feeling. And yeah, it's pretty incredible what power we have, and not because we want to cure things, but the way that I talked to him about this, in case you guys know someone who could benefit also, was I just asked him like, hey, have you heard about the latest research that's linking depression to gut health? And it's actually been discovered now that 90% of serotonin is produced in the gut. And like, serotonin is that hormone that makes us feel happy. So if you have bad gut health, it's like impossible to feel happy. And so when I told this to my friend, it was like a light bulb came on in his head, because he quickly remembered that in the last few years, he's had to take several rounds of antibiotics, and he knows that those are bad for gut health. But most probiotic products are just not very effective. Actually, so much so that I don't know if you've heard about this. It's like a latest thing that scientists are experimenting with. It's called fecal transplants. Have you heard of those? Kind of crazy. They take the poop of a person with good gut health and they put it in somebody who has bad gut health. I don't know about you, but I'd rather take acidophilus plus than have someone else's poop coming to me. But to each their own. And like, acidophilus is just an example of the incredible difference that our SAB, our scientists, are dedicated to just keeping in each one of our products, because like, they didn't, I'm sure many of you have heard the story, they didn't just go out there and get an off-the-shelf probiotic. They made sure that they created a artificial stomach which would mimic the environment of the human body, and then make sure that there's technology that delivers the acidophilus to where it's needed and doesn't get eaten up by your gut acid. But really cool stuff is happening in this area of research, and we're just continuing to see validation behind what we're doing. Like, for example, carotenoids, they're now also proven to help transform the microbiome of the gut. Really? I learned that recently from Dr. Ariana Karugi, who's one of our SAB members. And we haven't come out with this yet, but since we're on the call now, and I think it can help people, the SAB just did a new clinical study on glucose balance. And it has some pretty amazing things that we found. And we're going to hear more about that soon. We're going to be presenting on it. But a couple of the things is that we found it actually improves gut-brain signaling as well as mood. And so I just wanted to share this with you, because I think if you know somebody who could be helped, like, our products, they literally have the power to transform people's lives.
Wow.
And
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, and so I think, like, in addition to the health side, like, when there is such a need for what you have to offer, like, that gives us an incredible business opportunity as well, where we can not only make an income, but we can also make an impact. And so, have you guys ever, like, seen an old castle? Like, typically, like an old castle in Europe, you see that they're surrounded by all this water. They call it a moat. And typically that was for protection against rivals. And I love this analogy. It was actually popularized by Warren Buffett. He called it an economic moat. And that was like a business's ability to maintain a competitive advantage. so that for the long-term health of the company. And that's what he looks for in his investments, as with Berkshire Hathaway. And I believe that our greatest moat as a company is our products. Like, no one can touch us because they're just not willing to make that kind of investment. It's too easy to pick a pre-made product off the shelf and just slap a fancy label on it. Like, I see this all the time. We have our own manufacturing company, and we also contract third-party manufacturers so that we're very scalable. But all of our like ingredients, our raw materials are sourced by us, our formulas are proprietary. But we actually have those people who are helping us manufacture. They often get really upset with us. And they ask us, like, why are you guys so difficult? Like, even one of my dad's best friends, he's one of the largest supplement manufacturers in the country, makes a lot of our competitors' products. And he said he wouldn't make our products because they're too complicated and there's like too much technology involved in them. But that is something that will never change when it comes, like, you can trust that with us. A couple of weeks ago, actually, Dr. Julie Chen, who's a new member of our Global Science Network, she reminded me of just how important this is to have product quality. And she's a pretty popular doctor. She's on like TV shows and has an integrative medicine clinic. And she was telling me about how she loves omega-3 products, but so she recommends them to all her patients. But she actually had some people go to the store, buy a product off the shelf, come back a little later, and they actually tested higher for heavy metal in their blood. And like, that is crazy. Like, not all supplements are created equally. And like NeoLife's moat, our competitive advantage, I mean, it's overflowing with this product quality science, but also our opportunity, our business model, and our people. Like, the people who are part of this, it's amazing. It's a family. And like, I think what our castle represents, what our company represents, is just freedom to do the things that matter in life. Like, freedom to have your good health so you can, I don't know, play with your kids, dance with your kid at their wedding, and also freedom to have the lifestyle that you want, to maybe take a vacation, drive the car you want, do whatever that like makes your heart sing. And whether we are club members or promoters or just curious about what's happening, I think, are passionate about the products, I think what our job is to make sure that people find that bridge that every castle has, to welcome new people into this community that can really show them a better way. Like, whether it's health or finances, we can share our stories and invite them to join us, because there really has never been a bigger need for what we have to offer. I mean, some of the statistics are crazy right now. Like, 21% of working Americans, they're not saving anything at all. And 57% of Americans don't have enough cash to cover a $500 unexpected expense. Like, that's pretty crazy. And also, earlier in the year, I saw an article that said, why won't Americans be taking a summer vacation? Well, it turns out that half of them just can't afford it. Like, but then on the flip side, we're seeing things like, we're not living in a fair world. Like, the average wealth of the Forbes 400 richest people in America, it's risen to over $7 billion. Like, we have such a big discrepancy in our economy today, in how people are living. And if there's one thing that really gets me worked up, it is this unfairness. And so, I mean, for example, like, what do you think Jeff Bezos's net worth is? He's the founder of Amazon. Anyone have a guess?
Over $1 billion.
Definitely over $1 billion, yes. So he just transferred a quarter of his shares in Amazon to his ex-wife because they got divorced. And he's still the richest man in America. His net worth is $114 billion. Pretty big. Now, I'm not trying to like vilify rich people at all. most of the very rich people I know are amazing people. And like one of my dad's best friends, Baron Hilton, who owned Hilton Hotels, he just died, and he gave basically his entire fortune away, mostly to the nuns. And but in the system that we're living in, money makes money. Like there's hard work involved, of course, but you can be like poor and work your butt off, and you can be rich and work your butt off, and you get a very different result. Like while the poor person is trading time for money, the rich person is doing that plus they have their money make money. Like if you think about it, even when they're sleeping, their money is making money, whether it's sitting in the bank or it's invested in other companies or properties, and that's residual income. And so what I love about our business opportunity is that what it does is levels the playing field, because it creates the opportunity to create wealth from a very small investment. And at first, like you're going to be trading time for money as your business is growing, but you begin to develop that residual income, which is so powerful. And it's not your money making money necessarily, but it is your investment making money. It's your investment into the well-being of other people's lives, your investment into your neighbor down the street or your sister or the person you meet in the grocery store. It all becomes a source of that residual income. And like, I'd say that's more valuable than money in itself. But I mean, like, let's just take a look at how much, if we were to compare like a safe investment, let's say like a 3% return, very safe, versus like how much money your business in NeoLife is worth, your business income. And so if you look at a Sapphire Director business, for the new people, don't worry about like the terminology because you'll learn it later, but this is a person who has director volume, QPV, with one director leg. So they've showed one other person how to become a director. And that income off of that business would be worth $1 million or over $1 million in the bank. You'd have to have over $1 million invested at a safe return in order to get that income, that annual income off of that. And if you look at our bigger businesses, like a one diamond, that ranges like well over 10 million, closer to $20 million in the bank invested. And it just keeps going from there. So, I mean, you have to work your butt off to get to that level, the one diamond level. But what excites me is that we're probably not all going to become billionaires or millionaires, although there will be some and there are some. But that doesn't matter because this opportunity allows us to make that extra income so that we can live that lifestyle of millionaires before we become one. And because it allows us to do things, to travel like beautiful destinations like we were just at, Hawaii, the big island of Hawaii. After that, I went to Cancun for our Mexico World Team Conference there. It also allows us to have time freedom, residual income, just good health and community, and just I think a tremendous impact beyond what most people even ever dream of. And that's really what matters most. Now, let's see. So earlier we had Nicole, she mentioned convention.
Yes.
And so I think everybody, whether you're a promoter who wants to grow their business, take it to the next level, or if you're a customer who wants to learn more about like scientific breakthroughs and explore if this opportunity is for you, I want to encourage you to join us at convention. We are going to be taking over Palm Springs next July. And I mean, Nicole already said it. She would not be where she is today in this business if she hadn't gone to convention and really just caught that vision for what's possible. It's going to be 2 full days of just recognition for your achievements, the latest breakthroughs in wellness, a live product launch. We're going to have like business building best practices, fitness coach workouts, just an incredible community and just so much more. And it really is where leaders where leaders are born. It's where we catch the vision, where we can truly just see the impact that we can make through the world. And I want to say, don't miss it. Like Linda Wilson, she told me that if one thing that she would tell people if say like, why should you go to convention? She said, it will transform your business and your life. And it really reminds me of the verse in Proverbs. It's 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. And that what that verse is explaining, I believe, is just it's the benefit of being around sharp people, because it makes us sharper too. And there's another translation that says, as iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. And countenance, that's our facial expression. It's like, it's saying that the people around us affect us so much that our faces will even show it. And what happens when you're at convention is we're just sharpening each other with success, with joy, with purpose, so that we can be the single biggest force behind ending the trend of poor health and poverty. And so I'm just so excited for those of you that are new to the family, to get to know you better, and see you there and just celebrate with you guys. Thank you so much for just what you do each and every day. We absolutely could not be making the impact that we are without your help, your support, and just the way that you invest into other people. And Bob, I want to say a special thank you to you. You are just an incredible leader. And I mean, you're an example to us all of really just investing into the lives of others and having that servant heart. And so I see some other great leaders on this call as well. So you guys are all in the right place at the right time. And I can't wait to get to see you very soon. So thank you, Bob, for this opportunity.
Thank you. You know, Kendra, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, there you are. Okay. You know, you can trust us. If you want to tell us a new product, we won't tell anyone.
Right.
Well, I just spilled the beans on glucose balance on the study.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Kendra, for taking your time. It's just warms our heart to the max to see you and hear you. And there's a number of brand new people on today, so it's nice for them to get to see our CEO and hear your heart and your mind. And thank you so much, Kendra.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Bob. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend.
Okay, you too. Thank you.